Hello and welcome to G Engraving. My name is Andy Fermento and I am the owner of G Engraving. We are a photograver located in Los Angeles, California, and we have been etching quality magnesium and copper engravings for over 40 years. 40 years of etching, but our knowledge probably goes back more than 100 years from the technology that was passed on from grandfather to father to son. So today I believe we are going to concentrate on one of our premier products, which is our letterpress engraving. We etch them either on copper or magnesium metal. We mount them on a good base, a cherry wood base, and they provide high quality printing. They're just perfect for any type of situation you want to do as far as letterpress goes. So you're going to take a tour here shortly and see how we produce our letterpress engravings. And to find out more about A&G Engraving, you can visit us at angengraving.com. Thank you.
Hi, I'm George Bush, the grandson you heard about. My grandfather started etching plates in the city of LA in about 1918. Started his own business in 1938 as Peterson Engraving, and in 2008 we merged with A&G. So we've been making plates around town here for close to 100 years. Today we're working on the show guide for the Los Angeles Printers Fair 2020. We got to first thing we got to do is get that to film so we can make plates. And we're going to give you a go through on the process of plate making. If you don't have digital artwork, we can also do it from a hard copy like this on our camera, which we'll be showing you later. Well, here we are in the darkroom, gallery of the darkroom, where the film just come out from the computer, processed through the processor here. And if you don't have the ability for a digital art, and you have just regular black and white artwork, we can still shoot it on our large horizontal camera. Load the copy in, close the glass. Aim it towards the lens. Here we are at the inside back of the camera in a whole separate room from where we were before. This is the dark room. This is the film board here. Oh. And we're going to lower the ground glass so we can check our focus if we need to, and before we start, check the size. And we raise the ground glass, close the door, and we're ready to open the door and load the film on to make a negative. And turn the lights on and we can photograph it that way. Okay, now we're going to expose the image on the plate by putting the piece of magnesium in the printing frame, which has a light sensitive coating on it, and we're going to put the negative on top, close the printing frame down, and we're going to pull a vacuum on this to get the negative in really tight contact with the plate so there's no halations. And then turn on the exposure and away we go. Now we're back after the exposure, release the vacuum, open up the printing frame, and we pull out the plate with the neg attached and separate the two. And as you can see, it has a latent image of the exposed image on it. And now we're taking it over to the developer and to be developed. Now we're going to develop the plate in a aqueous-based developer with a spray solution over the top of the plate. It's dissolving all the unexposed areas on the plate. And it takes a few minutes. The plates nowadays are pre-coated at the factory, and in the old days we had to put the coatings on ourselves and develop them and put the color into them. But nowadays everything's pre-coated from the manufacturer of the plate material. We're gonna give it a turn so we get an equal development all over the surface. All right, there you go. So right now we're getting ready to etch the plate. We got to take the plate out for the developer and to give it a little pre-etch with some acid over in the table in the sink over there. Just put a little fresh acid on just to start the etch, get it etching, get it ready to go. And then it's going to come over to the etching machine and mount it in there, and away she goes. The machine's opening up right now, getting ready for it. There's a picture of the plate before it's etched. It doesn't look, there's no relief on it right now. It just has a very, very slight edge. I was going to mount that on the lid of the machine. It turns upside down, face down in the machine, and that spins around on the top, kind of an orbital motion. It doesn't just go around, it goes in a circular orbital motion as well, to keep an even distribution of the chemicals all over the plate. And when he closes the lid, it's face down, and there's paddles in the machine that then scoop up the acid and the additive that's in the acid, and it eats away anything that isn't coated with the red coating, causing it to have the relief that it has. And that's just about 7 thousandths a minute. We're going down about 45,000, so we're going to go 6-7 minutes to get the depth that we need for this plate. Okay, now we're about ready to take the plate out of the machine. It's finished, and it just has to exhaust some of the fumes, and the door will open and we'll be able to take it off. It should be done at this point. It's etched, and it has about 45 thousandths relief on it. It has a little bit of chemistry on it, so we got to rinse it off and clean it up, and then it'll be ready to print. There we go. Now you can see as it comes up, it has a, you can probably see the relief as opposed to when it went in flat. Now he's going to take it over and just rinse it off and clean the chemistry off of it with a little soap and a little brush. The layer dry there to get the moisture off. And then he's going to come over here and put it on a burner to burn the moisture off of it. Now he's just going to take the moisture off, and it'll be ready to go. Good. Now we got to weigh every plate in and out and keep track of the ounces of metal that go into the bag. Well, here we go. We're going to be using my grandfather's about 1930s router that he bought when he started his business. Still working, original motor. And we're going to take and route off all the pimples and imperfections off the show guide plate. And then we're going to be mounting it on a piece of wood, and it'll be ready to print. Okay, we've got the plate etched, and now we need to just trim off the excess before we get it mounted up. And now we got to get a piece of wood, trim down to fit the plate, so we can mount it on and get it type high. Where this is a cherry wood end block, they call it, with the frame going 2 directions, and to get more stable and stability in the over the long run. And we bring the plate over, or the wood over, and activate the thermal glue that's on there with a little acetone. Rub it around, get it activated and gummy, and then once we get it on there, we take it over to the mounter and nail it to the surface. And then we'll run a type high gauge on it to make sure that it's type high. And now we're over at the nailing machine, and we're going to throw a bunch of nails in here to keep it from moving when it's on the press. And there we go. So here we are at the end of the process. We've got our plate made here, ready for shipping out, and send it to you within 24 hours from sending your artwork in. We can have you a plate back. Hopefully now that you've seen this, you can see all the craftsmanship that goes into making just one plate. You know, whether it's 1, 2, whatever. It all takes the same amount of craftsmanship. Glad to show it to you. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.